Okay. I want to ask a question that my boss asked me in my work. And he asked me, he said, you know Jesus Christ has anger issue. I was like, I was thinking. I said, I don't know. So sir, I want to ask, does Jesus Christ has anger issue? Number one. Number two, he said, although Jesus Christ was in the flesh, he said Jesus Christ also made mistake. I was looking at him, I was like, so I want to ask, sir, does Jesus Christ has anger issue? He said, if he has anger issue, that why like he went to the temple to use cane to wipe out everyone from the temple.
Okay, now let me explain. These things are, it's simple. Whenever people talk, just get the scriptures, ask them for the scriptures. There's a difference between anger and rage. Anger in itself is not a sin. The Bible warns you, it said, be careful of anger because of what it will do. Can we get that scripture that's warned about that, please? Down. Because anger can give birth to sin. So I can be angry, but it's not a sin. It's rage that becomes a sin. Rage is the action of the anger. Anger can lead to bitterness. The Bible warned you to be careful about it. Where is it? Help me out. Ephesians 4:26. He said, in your anger, do not sin. Can you say it? He said, in your anger, do not sin. So you can be angry and not sin. You can be grieved in the spirit and not sin. You can be offended in the spirit and not sin. What is sin? Missing the mark. So in my anger, I will not miss the mark. In my anger, I will not do what I will regret. Jesus expressed anger like he said it. But that anger was towards righteousness. And what you consider sin is different from what God considers sin. Here is a man called, I always forget the man's name. Is it Phinehas or Phinehas? I don't know how they pronounce that. Phinehas, right? Phinehas got upset. They were doing something, having a meeting over something that happened. And one guy came and took a lady, went inside the bedroom to have fun. This guy took a spear, went in and daggered the guy. And the anger of God went. And God said, this is my guy. Choose him now. This one I want to use now. He has quenched my anger. What you consider sin is not what God considers sin in most cases. There is a sin of the word. Now, when God looks at the motives of our heart to be able to judge us, I wanted to post a picture of a particular issue that happened of that woman that was grieving, that was carrying her son, and she was grieving. So I wanted to post the picture and write a little bit piece about it. I've seen it, I've seen the video, saw it, but I didn't want to react because it was painful for me. But then when I wanted to post the picture to write about it, a part of me said, take video. If I take video and I post the video, I will get more views. Now, what I was about to do was right, but the motive is now money, no longer sympathy. So I refused to post it. I gave myself time to check my heart. You know what I did? I used picture instead of video. Because my heart, myself, the flesh, wanted the video so that I'll get more engagement, get more views. However, you see that my point of posting, people will say like, oh, man of God, you are also fighting against this, but you see that my motive would have been wrong. So I used picture in order for that motive to be killed. So the motives of the heart, the intention of the heart is what God looks at. The intention why that guy went and daggered that person was because we are talking about what grieved God. Guy, whatever will be. And then he went in there and God said, that's my man. According to the system of the world, when you are at the age of 18, you should have a girlfriend. You should have a boyfriend. It's normal. You can fornicate. They will say, just protect yourself. It's the system of the world. In fact, if you are above 18 and people see you with a girl, they don't ask you a question and say, what are you doing with that lady? Unlike us, they were born in the 80s, 90s. It would have been a different world, but you have to explain. To hold a woman's hand, you go explain to her. But it's not like that in this generation. When you are at the age of 18, it's permitted for you to actually drink alcohol in most places. But in the terms of God, you can't have sexual intercourse with a woman, no matter the age, except you are married with her. So that is the good of God. But there is a good of man that when you have reached 18, 20 is okay. In fact, doctors will tell you that if you don't have sex regularly, you have prostate. And God is telling you, I never talked that one. No. Now, doctor, they say we have discovered, we have ventured, we have understood. They are all of them are promoting immorality. In order for them to cut down the rate of rape, they introduced masturbation. Because people could not hold themselves, they start raping. So instead of stopping it completely, they now said masturbation, you can masturbate. They promoted masturbation. They used another sin to replace another sin. In spiritual terms, they call it law of replacement. So Jesus, in quote, according to him, expressed anger. But it was not the anger that led to sin. The anger that leads to sin is what we call rage. The Bible says, get rid of that. Rage will lead you to sin. He said, in your anger, do not sin. And do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. Because after that, you will have time to meditate and then boil it up in your heart as rage. So in most cases, if anger is in your heart for 2 to 3 days, it might become rage, it might become bitterness, it might become hatredness, it might become envy, it might become jealousy, it might birth evil intention. But the moment you are able to say, I'm sorry, or forgive from your heart, light will come. Then what was the next thing he asked? The next thing he asked was that he said that what again? That Jesus Christ made mistake. Let him show you the Bible verse where Jesus Christ made mistake.
Jesus Christ was in the flesh. Like since he came in form of a man.
Yeah.
That man.
Tell him that the semen that produced Jesus was not a human being semen.
That argument.
It's simple now. Tell him what was the semen that produced Jesus Christ. As long as it's not a human semen, he won't. He was tempted in all ramification, in all way. But the seed that bettered him was not the old nature.
Although we use the scripture that he was made perfect, like that scripture that said that he was made perfect. We used it, but this man, he refused. Like he was.
No, he's not arguing to know. He's arguing to just argue. He's not arguing to learn. Intelligent people, there's a way they argue. They're like, oh, you're right. They're arguing. See, people argue to learn, but there's some people that argue just for argument's sake. They're not arguing to add knowledge to themselves. I don't waste time with them. I love to talk, but I don't argue. When I say argue, I argue the word. It's one of the part of what they call it, apologetics. We argue the scriptures. So we can be arguing the scriptures. But when I come to a realization that I'm giving you the truth of the word, however, you are not paying attention to the truth of the word that I'm giving to you, one of the things I will do is that I'll say, oh, you're right. It ends there.